Thank you for the possibility to present here the results of our project. I will talk today about in vivo zebrafish embryos, X-band electronic paramagnetic resonance toolbox for medicinal biotechnology. Zebrafish is a small freshwater fish. You probably know it from aquaria, but for scientists, it's very, very special one. Both in academia and industry, scientists call it small fish, big splash, because it has 70% similarities to higher vertebrates. The stages of its development is very well described. They are transparent, so you can easily track all changes. It's very fast, robust, cheap, and easy to start model to work with. And there are a number of disease models which are created for zebrafish. So there are also cancer models and other disease models which are associated with oxidative stress. And among cancer models, melanoma is one of the most common one. And here it's associated with melanin radical. And in zebrafish, there is no way you can track melanin radical and keep the fish alive. And with oxidative stress, we can use fluorescence microscopy. However, it's not really showing you what type of free radicals are formed in the system. And it just say, okay, there is oxidative stress. And that's a problem. Both problems with radicals could be solved with electron paramagnetic resonance, because it could track free radicals and it could be used to study oxidative stress. The problem with EPR, electron paramagnetic resonance, that in vivo studies are usually performed at L band, which is 1.2 gigahertz operating frequency. It has big resonator, so the mice or part of the human could be placed inside, but it has very low accuracy and it uses low powers. It's not suitable for zebrafish embryos. And X-band, which is 9.4 gigahertz operating frequency, is not normally not used for in vivo studies because of the size of the resonator. It's around 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, so it's hard to put anything inside. It has higher accuracy and use higher powers. Zebrafish embryos are very, very small, so they can easily feed the X-band resonator. But if we use a high power to get a signal, we actually turn our spectrometer into a microwave and we actually cook our embryos. If we use a low power at our X-band, we probably won't see the signal from zebrafish embryos again. Our team, me, and Dr. Katerina Zawada, we have 5 years experience with zebrafish embryo model. We are totally in love with EPR. We have more than 12 years in EPR. And we are both members of Polish Zebrafish Society. We found the solution how to connect the best things of zebrafish model and EPR, X-band EPR. So if we load more zebrafish embryos into the resonator, we will have higher signal, and we don't have to use a high power, so we can still keep the low power. That is possible if we use a specially shaped capillary, which you see on the left side, because in the standard capillary, if we load like 10 embryos, they really feel very bad and they normally do not survive the measurement. In the capillary which we developed, this specially shaped capillary, it's flatter in the middle size. We can put up to 40 embryos and they could easily survive the measurement and being measured in subsequent days. This is our Benchtop EPR. It looks really like micro oven. It has only one button and it's really easy to operate. We upgraded with aspect by Novilet. This is amplifier of the signal, so we have 10 times higher signal. And this really works in case of zebrafish. We got grant from our Centrum on Technology Transfer, and we managed to do 80 prototypes of the capillaries. 5 of them we crashed. Another 65 was not good. They were not giving the desired signals. And we end up with 10 glass and quartz capillaries, which we can use in our studies. And we can actually detect the melanin radical and track it, what's going on with it in real fish, in embryo up to 5 days. And we can track the artificial free radicals, and we can see how the fluidity of the membrane is changing. Our final clients who could potentially work with our technology and with our toolkit, it's a scientist who already work with zebrafish models. It's over 300 groups worldwide. Also, scientists who are already working with EPR, and they are in biology or chemistry, because it's really easy to start working with zebrafish model, and it's quite easy to start with Benchtop EPR. We have a great support from our Centrum of Technology Transfer. They help us to move from concept phase to technology level TRL 8. That means we did experiments in a natural environment. We started the procedure of international patent application, and we already have a positive opinion from the patent office. We have collaboration with 2 Polish companies who could produce glass and quartz capillaries. The price of the production is like 30 zloty per glass and 100 per quartz capillary. The market, we estimated that we could sell it for 100 and 300 correspondingly. The commercially available quartz capillaries, who are not really suitable for our measurements, but for comparison, especially dedicated quartz capillaries cost around 10,000 zloty. Clients for our technology are 7 companies who are producing EPR spectrometers, companies who produce zebrafish for research, for example, Electron Biotech, and also laboratory glass and quartz companies. It's only 100 only in Poland, and in Europe it's larger market. Detection of free radicals, if we compare it with fluorescence, which is commonly used now, because EPR is not used in zebrafish models usually. The cost of equipment, EPR is a bit more expensive. However, we can work with embryos. Fluorescence microscope is normally used on adult fishes. Sometimes it's used on embryos. The entry barrier in case of EPR, actually it's 1-2 days training. In fluorescence, if we are working with adult fishes, you need 2 or 3 years experience in case of adult fish, because you have to have all permissions to work with it. Also, ethical permission, you don't need ethical permission for embryos up to 5 days. And the main reason why we should choose EPR in oxidative stress studies, because it allows detection and identification of free radicals, and this is not possible with fluorescence technique. So we are looking for investors, and we are looking for academia collaboration to go on with our project. Thank you.
So I would ask, what other things you can measure in your capillaries?
This week we will start measuring worms. Actually, everything what has size, what could be placed in water, and everything what could have size up to 3-4 millimeters. Any living object. We are talking about living objects.
Yes, but that's quite big range for molecular biologists and Oh, well, it's a great presentation. Thank you very much. It's looks like you totally know what how to solve the problems, and that's absolutely great, because it shows that when you want, you can do it, right? And you can not only solve problems, but also create something valuable for others to use the benefits of your work.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.